Hello and welcome to the Athlete Archives. Today, I'm going to tell you the story of a baseball player who played in 105 Major League games, but never once swung a bat or wore a glove. That's right, he wasn't on the bench, he actually played in 105 games. He never hit and never played in the field. According to teammate Raleigh Fingers, this guy didn't even have a glove. He played one position, pinch runner. This is the story of Herb Washington. In baseball terms, the player that can do it all is known as a five-tool guy. He can hit for high average, hit with power, his glove is exceptional, his arm is exceptional, and his speed is exceptional. There are very few five-tool guys in the game. Five-tool guys are the all-time greats. Guys like Mantle, Aaron, Kaline, Cobb, Willie Mays, Tris Speaker, Dave Winfield, Ken Griffey Jr., and so on. As for current players, I would add Mike Trout, Shohei Ohtani, and Ronald Acuna Jr. to that list. But most of the league consists of 2- and 3-tool guys. 1-tool guys are rare, but if there is a 1-tool guy, it's most likely that he's a power hitter and is used as a DH. Herb Washington was a 1-tool guy, but he absolutely could not hit at all. And he was not a good fielder. And he couldn't throw. But boy, could he run. Herb Washington was not a baseball player when he was signed by the Oakland A's in 1974. Herb was a track star at Michigan State University. He had the world record for both the 50 and 60-yard dash. When A's manager Al Dark saw Hurricane Herb running in a track meet on television in 1973, he immediately decided that the A's needed to sign him and convinced owner Charlie Finley that Herb Washington would be a better option than the aging Alan Lewis, who the A's had been using as a bench player and pinch runner for years. Alan Lewis was an outfielder with speed and was known as the Panamanian Express, having been born in Panama. Lewis finished with a career .207 batting average and 1 home run in 29 career at-bats. As a runner, he had 44 steals in 61 attempts for a 72% success rate, which is better than league average, but nothing special. The Panamanian Express was now 33 years old and trending in the wrong direction. In 1973, he was caught stealing 36% of the time. Hurricane Herb was 10 years younger. Now, in case you weren't aware, the A's of the early 1970s were not the A's of today. At the time, believe it or not, this was the best franchise in the game. The A's had won back-to-back World Series in 1972 and 73, and looked to be the favorite for 1974. To help Herb prepare for the season, the A's brought Maury Wills in to spring training specifically to work with Herb. Maury is 20th on the all-time stolen base list. Base stealing is a lot more than just running fast, and it was Maury's job to cram as much information and technique into Herb as he could in 6 weeks. Unfortunately for Herb, he never really excelled at the job. Despite world-class speed, he proved to not really be any better than an average base stealer, if that. In his first year with the A's, Herb would steal 29 bags, but get thrown out 16 times for a 64% success rate, which is quite bad, especially for a guy that's his only job. Early in the 1975 season, the A's had seen enough and released Herb in May. At that point of his second year, he had 2 stolen bases and was caught once for a 66% success rate. But I haven't talked about the postseason. How did Herb do when games matter the most? Unfortunately, not good. In the 1974 American League Championship Series, Oakland faced off against the Orioles. He was caught stealing on both attempts, once in Game 2 and again in Game 3. Fortunately, the A's would advance, and Herb would get another shot in the World Series In Game 2 of the 1974 World Series, the Dodgers took a 3-0 lead into the ninth inning. Dodgers pitcher Don Sutton hit Sal Bando with a pitch and then gave up a double to Reggie Jackson. Relief pitcher Mike Marshall came in to face Joe Rudi, who singled, making it 3-2. Gene Tenace struck out, and then Herb Washington came in to run for Rudi. Marshall was known for his unorthodox pickoff move, and sure enough, after the first pitch, Marshall made his move, and he picked off Hurricane Herb in the ninth inning of the World Series in a one-run game. Interestingly enough, Steve Garvey was playing first base and applied the tag. Garvey and Hurricane Herb were both Michigan State Spartans. You may be asking yourself, how could this be? How could a world record sprinter get hosed more often than an average MLB player? I think Herb's lack of success is actually great. It shows how much skill is required for even something as basic as being an effective base runner in the game. Stealing bases is a lot more than just running fast. Reading the pitcher to get a good jump, taking a good lead, sliding to avoid the tag, all these things are skills that have to be learned. So, back to the discussion of five-tool players. Mike Trout's current stolen base success rate is 85%. He has 204 stolen bases and has been caught 37 times. Paul Goldschmidt, the 6'3", 220-pound first baseman, has stolen 150 bags at an 82% success rate. There's no way that Goldie has anywhere near the speed of Herb Washington. It's a true skill. In any event, fortunately for Herb, while baseball proved to not be his forte, he did have great success outside of sports. He became the first African-American McDonald's franchisee and at one point owned 27 McDonald's franchises. He became quite wealthy and seems to have had a very happy family life. He married his college sweetheart, and his son followed in his footsteps, running track at Michigan State. Herb is still living. The last I could find, he was in Boardman, Ohio, and doing very well. I want to mention another player. When the Atlanta Braves won the World Series in 2021, they had Terrence Gore on the roster. If you look at Terrence Gore's baseball reference page, you won't even see any stats for him as a Brave because he never even got into a game. Even so, Terrence Gore won his third World Series ring. Gore has more World Series rings, 3, than postseason plate appearances, 2. He won rings with the 2021 Braves, the 2020 Dodgers, and the 2015 Kansas City Royals. Gore has had better success than Herb Washington. In his career, Terrence Gore has 43 stolen bases on 52 attempts for an 83% success rate, which is actually better than Rickey Henderson's. The Mets added Terrence Gore to their roster in 2022 in anticipation of making a deep playoff run. But sorry to say, the Mets failed to advance from the wild card series. So Terrence Gore will have to wait another year. As of May 2023, while I'm recording this, Terrence Gore is an unsigned free agent. We'll see if he makes an appearance in the 23 playoffs. And that is a wrap for Season 2 of the Athlete Archives. Thank you for your time. I hope you enjoyed the season. I'm already finishing research on the 5 athletes for Season 3, and we'll have that out at the end of the 2023 baseball season, probably in September. Thank you. Take care.